Welcome to another edition of Banter and Babble. I am the Dude79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone, what's going on, dude?
Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot.
There's something about you. You just seem like you're a much happier person.
Yeah, I definitely. I might be tired, but I'm in a way different place mentally these days.
A
That's
better
for damn
place
sure.
mentally. That is all we could really ask for.
That's
right.
right.
He's no longer. He is still a douchebag, but he's not a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a curmudgeon.
I mean, you're gonna be the old guy yelling out his window and telling the kids to get off his lawn and all that shit. You're still a prick, but you're not a douchebag, and that is a big step, dude.
I'm glad that we have the definitions out.
I am super proud of you.
Thank you.
No, I'm very, very happy. I know you've been really digging your new job. You're
Yeah.
digging the environment. It's just a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And now he's still Cuddles knows the truth.
That's
He
my
knows
boy.
You're still a fucking d-bag.
Yeah, whatever.
I love Cuddles, always calling it like he sees it. But here we are, Tone. It is Wednesday night.
It is Wednesday night.
We've got some beers. We've got some stuff we want to talk about. We've got some great topics. We've got we got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight.
As per usual.
Before we hop into everything, we should probably talk about a cool new thing that is now available for our viewers.
Yeah, we finally have something that has been, there's a few things that we get very often about, hey, do this, or can you do this, or adjust this, or whatever. Magus knows. Magus is out too. But yeah, we finally got something King Cuddles. Probably the guy that's been saying it for the longest time.
Yes.
Just a step in the right direction.
You guys ready for this?
More to come.
Did I do it?
You go ahead and do it.
I'm going to do it. Boom. Yes. If you want to rep the B&B brand, you can now do that. You can click that link. You can head on over. Check out the shirt. Check out the mug. Very slim pickings right now in terms of what we have available for our friends. But right now, we're really happy with how these look. We will obviously expand upon the different types of merchandise that you can purchase. But right now, it's pretty simple. But I'm really kind of digging the look.
We are big fans of the chibi heads of our esteemed little guys. So, yeah, it's pretty fantastic. No, but yeah, sorry guys, no G-strings, banana hammocks yet. We're just gonna test. We're getting our feet wet here with Stream Elements as per usual. I know Cuddles has been looking at some other sites for some other merch, and eventually down the road we're gonna do the same too. But just so the folks out there that have asked us constantly, now we have at least a T-shirt out there. Down the road we want different types. And next after this step, then we're gonna talk about channel. What is it? The channel currency? What is the? My brain just
points,
stopped.
the
Channel points. We're gonna work on some ideas for those two.
We better because Josh is running out of patience.
Yeah, so is a 6-piece nug. So we got some ideas, but we have to adapt to the format of the show as well too. So if y'all have ideas that would fit good with the flow of the show for channel points, hit us up in any of our DMs and Discord. We'd love to hear some thoughts from y'all as well too. In 6 months down the road after the merch, here we are. So we'll get to the points.
Yeah, we'll get to them at some point. But in honor. In celebration of the merch store, the merchant store is now available for all of you. Tonight's giveaway, we're going to let one of you choose a shirt or a mug.
Yeah.
So the giveaway will begin now. ! Enter to get in, and it is live right now. And if you win, you get to choose between a shirt and a mug.
Or a mug.
We're really, really, really excited about that. So. Hope you guys can. Hey, Mystic Mike Live, there he is. What's going on, Mystic?
Oh, what is he doing? There he is. What's up, buddy?
He's very excited. He's very excited.
He's live. What up?
Hope everything's good on your end, Mystic. I know he's had a hell of a week.
Yeah, he's had a heck of a week. So we're thinking about you and the fan, man. Hope everybody's feeling better. So
yeah, hopefully he's doing good. I know Tricky Regent's in the chat. He's had some wild stuff going on back at home. Hopefully he's doing well. I didn't get a chance to talk to him today. Work sucked today. I don't know, Tricky, were you even working today? All I know is work sucked today. I was most displeased with work this week.
You've had a work week too, so
it's been trash. But yeah, seriously, guys. Okay, all right. Well, I'm still thinking of you, Tricky. Do you have a command for the link to the? Yes, it's ! Merch. exclamation point
Biggity merch. Merch.
That will pop up the link. You can also scroll down right here on Twitch. If you scroll down, you'll see in the About section where like our rules are and stuff, you'll see a link there as well to check out the merchandise. Really, really excited about that. And we appreciate any of you that do decide to put down some cash for some B&B swag. And like I said, this is just the first couple of items that we've got ready to go. We'll definitely, work on the hoodies. We've got iPhone cases. I think you can do. There's some other goofy ass shit in there.
G-strings.
Working on them. We're working on those. It's kind of hard to get by that on Stream Elements.
Yeah. So hey, thank you everybody. It's already popping off out there. We appreciate you being here. If you want to see Rinjob, week 2 is going well. Just continuing to learn, but enjoying that office life. Really am.
Office Space life, man.
Some fantastic people I work with.
You can watch the movie Office Space, man. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
It's funny because I'm not. Of course, Office Space is great, and I'm not really an office show like everybody else is. It's just I've tried to get into it. I enjoy parts of it, but it's not like I'm not like everybody else rabid about the show. But I am a workaholics guy, and the best way I can equate some things that I see and do when I walk in there always goes to that workaholics look. And of course, it'll never be as crazy as that, but I wish I had a Montez in my room. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I totally get it now. You do see the different type of people and how that works and stuff like that. But fortunately, with a lot of the people I'm working with are really, really awesome. So
that's good. That's really, really good to hear, man. I'm really happy for you. Like I said, I can just tell your attitude is you're just beaming every time.
I'm not complaining about work every 2 minutes.
Yeah, and you're not getting your life threatened.
My life isn't getting threatened.
Even though I think I'm gonna start texting you during the day and be like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, just to kind of keep it going.
That is the weird part for me. Speaking of which, and thank you for that. But
if you tell me somebody actually texted you, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
No, I know. I got 3 people that are telling me that every day. But it's just weird because I don't have the ability to actually use my phone, at least not right now while I'm training, and I don't want to be that guy, the new guy going, hey, sorry, I'm a little busy over here. Can't answer you. Somebody in the Discord's talking. So bear with me. It's going to take me a while to acclimate, of course, but, honestly, I'm pretty busy those 4 hours, those 2 chunks of the day. Like, I really can't get to my phone. It's a pretty nonstop pace that's going on, and it's a good setup for that, though, but I just can't play on my phone.
I think Cuddle's question is valid. No one gives a fuck about your job. What the fuck are we drinking, Town? What are we drinking? Because this is what we're talking about.
This is white chocolate blonde out of Grand Armory Brewing Company. I don't know if you've had this half-assed. You get a lot of Pigeon Hill vibes out of this. It is delicious. I had this the other night, and I want to make sure that dude got to try a sample of these as well, too.
It is so good.
It is very, very good.
So good.
And then we're going to follow up with the Sagatuck Brewing, and this is not a shandy I've had. It's the Blueberry Lemonade Shandy.
Shenanigans.
Because if there's one thing that I love about summertime, it's those shandies, and it's not a Leinenkugels.
I'm always a big fan of lemonade. I've always been a big fan of lemonade, especially when you go flavored like strawberry lemonade or raspberry lemonade.
Oh yeah,
blueberry lemonade sounds kind of sexy.
Or a real Arnold Palmer, like brewed iced tea and like a good lemonade.
Yeah, that's pretty hot. Quick reminder for next week's show, we will be talking about Mortal Kombat. That drops Friday.
Don't fucking forget.
HBO Max. Mortal Kombat's coming out. I know there's a video. There's a couple video sites that have the first 7 minutes. I have not watched it yet. I'm gonna try to skip that. But the reviews on it are 7-minute trailer. Reviews on it are decent. Kind of what I expect for a Mortal Kombat. Sitting at about 65 last time I saw on Rotten Tomatoes, which is good for a Mortal Kombat movie. I have to say. I mean, I think the other
video game movie.
For a video game movie in general. That's pretty good. So really excited to see.
I just don't think the critics are really going to get it either.
There was a couple that were like, the reviews I like the most are like the ones that are like, if you're a fan of the games, you're probably going to love this movie. And I'm just like, perfect.
Yeah, I want gratuitous violence. I don't give a shit.
I just want to see fatalities. It's going to be like when I play the games. I buy the game and I just go through all the fatalities and then I delete the game. I'm just there for the fatalities. That's all I want to see. In the movie. I just want to see fatalities. That's all I really want to see. So that's what we'll be talking about next week. We'll also be talking about Falcon, the finale, and then whatever else comes up. But Mortal Kombat is the main point of discussion for next week so far in terms of movies. So definitely going to be checking that out. Anything else going on with you, man? Anything else you want to talk about?
Nope, not a whole lot. You know,
Thank God.
we can right. We talked about gaming a little bit briefly. I'm not playing a whole lot right now, just because of the sleep schedule, trying to get used to. But we are excited for.
Man.
We'll probably dive in a little preview
We'll do a little preview next week. But
There's some
Returnal,
more information came out today, and
Returnal starting to sound like a lot of fucking fun, you guys. A lot of fucking fun. Returnal is starting to sound like it could be a pretty cool game. From Housemarque, like I said, I've always enjoyed Housemarque. Their games have always been awesome, but this is a big step for them into a third-person action game. Where they mentioned in an article or a write-up of tweets that gameplay is still king for them, and that's the focus with Returnal, and it just looks like a lot of fucking fun.
That's a big deal. And yes, Proto Bear, I'm going to try to attempt to see Demon Slayer movie this weekend in Flint.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, it's technically, I think how it's going to work is this movie is kind of like its second season or kick off the second season, but it's a bridge at least somewhere into the second season. So we've been waiting for a while for more of this anime, a lot of us. So yeah, I know Rave Cinema is playing it, so I might try to sneak down there. We'll see.
Interesting. I know we got plans for Sunday.
We got awesome.
Let's talk about
that. So let's give you a little preview of that. So the two of us, along with our good old pal Half-Ass Beer Review. If you have not yet checked him out on YouTube, by the way, please, King Cuddles, will you set that link in there for him? The three of us are going to make a trip to none other than the famous Pigeon Hill Brewing here in Muskegon, Michigan, where we are going to actually try the oatmeal cream pie on tap.
God, I love cream pies.
Exactly.
Yeah, really excited about it. There he is. Josh is in the chat. We're actually going to make the trip there. We're going to hit up the brewery there, and then there's a barbecue joint right next door that we're going to hit up as well. And we're going to get a lot of footage this time. We'll get photos. We'll get video. We're really excited to check out this brewery and the barbecue joint next to it. So we'll be doing that Sunday, and that'll be up on our YouTube channel sometime next week. Really excited about that.
Yeah, very, very excited. Blanco, I'm not going to get baited into that shit, for one. Two.
I was waiting to see if you were going to respond to that. Let me for context. Yes. Blanco said, did you see that there might be actually a KOTOR remake in the work by Aspire Media? And he also followed that by saying, Revan shall be canon.
Yeah, we'll see. So, yes, Brian, to answer that question, I am probably not as hard as some folks, maybe as Proto Bear, but I am definitely weeb for sure. So
he's a fucking weeb.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, yeah, those are the things we got planned for next week on Banter Babble. We'll have something up on the YouTube channel with the, what do we call it, B&B Quests?
Yeah, B&B
Quest.
Well, for us, yeah, half-assed, I don't know what he calls them, but we call them basically B&B Quests.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Go there, get some drinks, have some food, take all the photos, show all that shit to you guys and gals. Thank you so much for that, White Wolf. I know there was a couple others down below.
Appreciate y'all.
Half-Ass Beer Review, I think who else was there? The Miz. Thank you guys so much for those subs. We really appreciate the support. It means the world to us to have you guys invest in us, so to speak, and show your love and appreciation. And you're the reason we do this. So thank you so much. We really appreciate that support.
Thanks for that link, King, too.
All right. Should we move on to the first topic?
Let's move on to that first topic, Bob.
Let's talk about somebody. No. Nobody. Let's talk about nobody. This is a movie we've been very, very excited about when it was first revealed late last year. And I think it was in the fall time when it came out. It was delayed a couple of times, but we finally got to watch it this past week. It was in theaters about 3 weeks ago. And what Universal is doing is they're releasing the movies in the theaters, and then 17 days or so later, they're moving it out to digital for you to rent there. And then I think it's usually about a month after that you can buy to own. So we finally were able to check out Nobody. This is from director Ia Nashuler, but the writer is Derek Kolstad, who wrote all 3 John Wick movies, and it's starring Bob Odenkirk, Connie Nielsen, Christopher Lloyd, and who else?
RZA.
And let me tell you something, guys. We had high expectations going into this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Very high expectations, because obviously you mentioned John Wick and you're like, okay, I want to see this. There's going to be awesome gratuitous violence. Want to see it. Bob Odenkirk obviously is somebody who has proven over the years that he's more than just a funny guy. Obviously, is Saul Goodman on Better Call Saul. He's been revered there. But now we see this trailer for him in this movie called Nobody, where there's heavy John Wick vibes from the trailer when we saw it. Kind of this mysterious guy with a checkered past, and you find out he's actually more than meets the eye. And
Ooh.
here we are. We finally got to sit down and watch it. Tony, I want to get your initial reactions to Nobody. And if you've watched it, if you in the chat have watched Nobody, we want to get your thoughts in the chat. We'll follow up on them.
So I want to preface this by saying I'm kind of an Odenkirk fanboy. You probably heard me talk about Better Call Saul in here a few times. Matter of fact, about a day or two before this came out that we were able to watch it, the 5-year or 6-year Facebook jump came up as that memory and said, oh, man, I just finished Breaking Bad. I finished Breaking Bad later than everybody else. It was done for a couple years, and I went back to it. And the first thing I said was, man, my favorite character by far was Saul Goodman, Bob Odenkirk. And then 2 months earlier, actually, Better Call Saul had started, and I either didn't realize it or hadn't started watching it. I didn't start watching that right away. And it comes down to what we said before, and we'll dive deeper into this too, but man, another one of these guys who are comedians and funny guys and come from these interesting backgrounds coming swinging for this drama. And you got Saul, and then you get into something like this, you're like, really? I mean, can he pull it off? Like,
right. Obviously, we've seen his dramatic ability.
Right.
He can pull off drama, but now we're in action
we're
territory.
in action territory, so that's a little weird, right? And I'm going to tell you this. I wasn't but maybe a half hour or maybe 40 minutes in this movie. I don't even know. And I had to stop, pause the movie just so I could text dude and be like, holy fucking shit, this movie's blowing me away, because there is a scene on the bus that I probably shit about 4 hands or bricks or what do you want to call them. I was freaking out instantly because I was really enjoying the pace of the movie. Again, this is going to have some shades like John Wick to a degree. But I keep saying that I feel like it evolves past it. It's its own thing, and it really is, and I honestly believe that. And it set itself up for more as well, too. Boy, well, I'll take more. But man, I enjoyed it the entire time. I thought the humor in it was perfect. It wasn't campy. It wasn't overboard. Even because the Christopher Lloyd character is kind of campy, but honestly, it was
a great way.
And it really worked. Like all the stuff, like some of the mysticism with like his friend, like who's he talking to on the radio, all this crazy, like there was enough mysticism in it for it to be like what's going on? Like you want to kind of keep guessing or questioning, or you didn't know if it was going to be played out, and then it plays out, and you're like, that's kind of fucking neat, But the really, like, outside of the fact that I was having a fun time with the movie, some of the stuff that got real deep into it, that we talked about, was like the beginning. Like there's this like never-ending cycle of waking up every day, eating the same thing, boring life, hating your job, blah blah blah.
His marriage is on, in this rocky space.
Right,
his son hates him. They have a rocky relationship. He's basically living the life that a lot of people live, where it's just it's tedium and it's repetitive, and there's something missing. There's no excitement, and it wears on your soul.
Right. And they did a really good job with that.
With that
like
montage.
how they filmed that, how they did it. It just really worked. And one of the things I picked up onto it too was not in a lot of the scenes was the music, and I said it's kind of remind me of Joker, with certain things that he would do when he would evolve or do something differently, or outside of that monotone kind of life that he was living. I thought that was a nice little addition. But man, at the end of the day, I could sit here and talk about this because some movies really get me excited, and this was one of them. I love the John Wick movies. Again, it's its own thing. It really is. I do believe that. It comes from a way different perspective than John Wick does. It comes from this very like almost he's so past his prime that it's very amateur feeling,
right?
And it made it feel kind of grounded because he'll get his ass kicked too. But just to see Bob Odenkirk once again evolve into a really fun movie, and honestly, like I had high expectations, but it still surprised me. Again, I enjoyed it. So if you get a chance to watch it, I highly recommend it. Dude's gonna bust into it right now.
Magus, to answer your question, you can actually watch this on most digital streaming services. It's available to rent. I think the price is about $20 on just about all the platforms. You can only rent it at this time. Like I said, it just came out on digital in that capacity. So I'm assuming in about a month from now, you should be able to purchase it or rent it for cheaper. I think I looked up News of the World, and you can buy it for $19.99, and you can rent it for $5.99. So right now it's $19.99. It's basically a new release movie, so it's at theater pricing. But for $20, you're getting a pretty good flick. And just to kind of piggyback off what Tone said, first of all, Bob Odenkirk continues to show his incredible range and take on these different types of roles. Again, when we saw the trailer for it, I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I like Bob Odenkirk, but I don't know if this is going to work because it's Bob Odenkirk. You know, yes, drama is one thing, but to have the physical ability to do an action movie with a lot of explosions, shooting, punching, and all this stuff, you have to sell it. It has to work, and it has to look authentic. And for the most part, I didn't have any issues with it. It's like you said, John Wick is a trained killer who is in his prime. Whereas Bob Odenkirk's character, you find out, you know, he's not who he appears to be, and he has a past, so he's a little bit more rusty, a little bit more amateurish in some of his settings, but it's believable, and he makes it work because you can relate to his character. He's a human person. He's got flaws. He's got a complex life, and he's dealing with struggles of his own, and so it really fleshes out his character. But man, when the action ramps up, Bob Odenkirk is more than up to the task. He's really, really good in all these scenes. We mentioned that the supporting cast, Connie Nielsen's there, but you know she's not given a whole lot to work with.
Kind of unfortunate because she's got some chops.
Yeah, she's pretty good. So I mean, she's there as his wife, who, you know, he's trying to build up their relationship back, and she's good in the scenes that she's in, but she doesn't, you know, she's not really there for much of the movie, which is unfortunate because, you know, we both like Connie Nielsen. She's really good, but you know, you look at RZA, and then especially like Christopher Lloyd. You know, when I watched this and I thought of the Christopher Lloyd character, it kind of reminded me of Diane Weist's character in I Care a Lot.
Yeah,
like,
I got that vibe too.
You kind of get like, you know, they're older and they're just kind of like there, but there's a surprise lurking.
Yeah,
whereas Diane Weist's character is much more evil.
You're referencing what's the name of the movie you're referencing?
I Care a Lot.
I Care a Lot. Yes.
She's much more manipulative. She's much more, you know, just very just bad. Christopher Lloyd kind of surprises you early, about midway through, and then at the end, there's just an incredible scene, and it's just like, okay, I'm on board for this. Like, once the finale plays out, you're either in or you're not.
Right.
And at that point, you're just like, yeah, this is fucking dope. I'm really happy about this. The gratuitous violence, there's a lot of it. There's some people getting fucked up in really bad ways. Not even to the kills, but just getting the shit kicked out of them to like a really bloody pulp. There's some really good action scenes, some good choreographs in there. But overall, you know, the other thing that's nice is that the story here complements the action really well.
Right.
Like you said, like the like Bob Odenkirk's character kind of like taking chances after living a life of just, you know, like we talked about, just tedium and repetitive nature of just everyday life. You kind of see him evolve and try to piece his family back together and become, you know, he's more embracing his past than he is trying to hide from it, and it just works. It's one of those movies, you guys, where you just sit down and you watch it and you're like, it just fucking works.
Just fucking works.
And you know, after I initially watched it, I went to Tony. I was like, you know, it was good, but I didn't feel like it was on the same level as John Wick. And then you got to talking to me, and then I got to thinking about it. I was like, you know, I think that's more problematic of the way the movie was promoted.
It's the wrong way to look at it.
The way they promoted it too, they focused on a lot of the action, and they kept mentioning from the writer of John Wick, from the makers of John Wick. So you're kind of like, oh fuck, because John Wick has set a new standard for action.
Absolutely.
When you think John Wick, you're thinking, holy shit, action. There's good action in this movie. Is it as like finesse as John Wick? No. Is it more brutal than John Wick? I would say you could make an argument there.
It's the narratives.
And it's just, so you're telling me it's worth $20 rent fee? Yes, Josh, I think it is. I think it's worth $20. Just don't expect it. And again, this is more on the marketing. The mistake on the marketing is they try to sell it like it's John Wick. Sure, there are some tropes in there that you're like, that's very John Wick-ish.
Shades of John Wick, yeah.
But for the most part, it stands just fine on its own. And I do, I really enjoyed it. I do recommend it for $20. Now, here's the question. Obviously, John Wick is heading into its fourth movie. Is this a type of movie that you think needs a sequel? Would you want to see more of this, or are you happy with a one and done?
First of all, they set it up for more.
Oh, absolutely. There's definitely an opening for more.
2, yes, and 3, and that's mostly because I can't get enough of Bob Odenkirk. I really cannot. Like, if you've not watched Better Call Saul, and I don't know if you have,
bits and pieces. I've only seen like the first season or so.
Like, outside of the amazing writing of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, there's something about his range and everything that he does, especially Saul. Saul is like an uphill battle.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, there's a lot of range that he has to do. There's a lot of real drama. Like, what you see of him in Breaking Bad is not the character you see in Saul at all.
Oh, really?
Like, at all.
Interesting.
It's really kind of like a either a prequel or a build of that character, however you want to say it. It's just and that really showcased his range. It's just wild because now we're talking about an action. And again, yeah, I think it's, I'm a sucker for action anyways. But mix in some, good acting, decent acting, and some drama that fits and works. Like, this movie worked, and it worked really well for me. So I would definitely want more. The last thing I do want to say, though, I noticed, and something I forgot to mention that I take note of. There's a lot of different little things in there. I can't remember. There's kind of an Easter egg thing that kind of like called out to something that from either of their past, and I don't remember. I think it was one of the last action scenes, but I do want to say, much like the puppy, there's a little softness in this.
yeah,
and
there is,
honestly, it starts out right at the beginning, and I like because he kind of goes back through it.
Yep.
It's really like the dog was entertaining and worked because it drove the story for Wick. This one,
actually, and I feel like there was way more emotional value to it. Whereas I almost feel like this was kind of like a wink and a nod, like kind of like like a parody of. Because obviously the dog was the motive. That was like the trigger.
Yeah,
for John
that was
Wick.
the trigger.
But I mean, there was much more. Like, dude, when that happened, I legitimately was like, man, that fucking sucks. Like, I understand why it's when they do this thing, it's more for laughs. You're not doing it for like
it's entertainment,
but it's hilarious.
Dude, it's fucking when he pops the can open, and everything. Fucking great. So, yeah, honestly, like, give us more. Give me more. Fuck it. Why not?
You want another one? You want another one?
Why not?
I'd be happy with it.
Why not?
I don't feel like it's absolutely not. I'd be cool. I'd be fine if they didn't make it because we have more John Wick coming. I don't know if they need to do competing series.
Sure.
But I mean, at least I'm a big fan of Bob Odenkirk, and I see in Rinjob said, when's the Mr. Show remake? I didn't like the reboot when it came out on Netflix. There was it
wasn't very good.
Short no, but man, when that shit was on HBO, Mr. Show with Bob and David was one of the smartest sketch comedy shows I had ever seen in my life. It was that good. Like, the way all the skits were connected in some way. And it wasn't some direct connection. It was always some obscure, random thing that just kind of kept the skits going back and forth on to the next one. Mr. Show with Bob and David was fucking incredible. I actually found the DVDs. I have the 2 seasons.
That's pretty awesome.
And I've been meaning to watch them again. The Mr. Show with Bob and David was him and David Cross was so fucking funny.
And Bob's so goofy enough. Like, he's had multiple cameos, I believe, on the Tim and Eric Awesome Job Show as well, too. Really random.
Maga says, speaking of John Wick style movies, what about the director of those wanting to make a Ghost of Tsushima? It's not a matter of wanting; he is directing it. They are making a Ghost of Tsushima movie, and I can't remember his name. It escapes me, but yeah, he is directing it. It was on the Sony PlayStation blog. It's happening. He is directing the Ghost of Tsushima movie, so we're really excited. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we're really excited about that.
Because you take Ghost of Tsushima, it's the visual setting of a feudal Japan, and then you take it with the director. I think it's John Krasinski or something Krasky. He has such a visual style with action. It just makes sense that you pair him up with something like Ghost of Tsushima. So
yeah, it's amazing.
That's going to be fucking dope. Like, I'm really excited for that movie. I hope they take their time with it. I hope he crafts something wonderful and Sony isn't like, hey, get out there and do it. So Cuddles says, I hope Jonah Hill plays me in the Banter and Babble movie. Jonah Hill as Cuddles?
I see it. I actually kind of see it. Did you notice that the one actor who got his start in fame in the Mortal Kombat TV series that came on after WCW Nitro, and then who was the new agent in the second Matrix, and then he also, because I'm pretty sure him and the director of John Wick and Keanu are all buddies, he was in, he was the main guy, kind of like main little guy in the first John Wick. He's tall and slender. Yep. He was in this as well, too. He's one of the main guys on the bus.
That's right.
He's got a long history of the dude's actually like accredited martial artist and stuff like that. Why he keeps getting these roles, but it was just kind of funny because he had a real small role in this one and he got his ass whooped kind of.
Yeah, those guys.
It was just kind of cool that he keeps. It's kind of like those things like these directors that have a buddy and they kind of pull him in.
Precious, I need to be played by Lakeith Stanfield or Donald Glover in the B&B movie. Man, speaking of Lakeith Stanfield, I didn't realize him and Daniel Kaluuya are both nominated for
fucking amazing
for Messiah.
I mean,
both of them.
That's one of the, so far. That's one of the probably the top 3 movies this year.
That's fucking sweet that those guys got nominated, both of them, because we were kind of wondering, because I think one of them got left off the Golden Globes. I think it was Lakeith Stanfield didn't get nominated there.
Yeah, he
did get nominated for an Oscar.
And he's that's my boy. That's my boy from Atlanta.
Yeah,
I want him to win something really bad.
That's fucking dope. So
amazing.
good on them. I'm sure we'll probably talk about the Oscars this weekend.
Care. Do you care?
Of course, I mean, I kind of do.
I kind of do, but it's just like any of that stuff to me. It's popularity comments.
Half-Ass Review says, I call Bruce Willis. I want this movie to tank. The B&B movie will not have nothing to do with Bruce Willis unless we're making fun of him.
Correct.
There's no way, because he would just actually he'd probably be pretty cheap. And just come here and just kind of wander through his scenes.
Right, 2-liners.
Fucking douche. All right, moving on from first of all, Nobody. Recommend, thumbs up, big thumbs up.
Oh yeah, big thumbs up.
Big fans of Nobody. So make sure you check it out. Available on most digital streaming services for $20 in rental form, and I believe a month from now is when you'll be able to buy it, usually for the same price, and then rent it for a little bit cheaper. So, moving on. Primus77, I finally made it. Welcome, Primus.
What up, dude?
Welcome. Charlize Theron is going to play Tone. She is way too beautiful. There's no way.
That's true.
All right. Moving on to our next movie review. Let's see if I can say it. Synchronic. Dude, we were butchering that all before the show because we were like, man, why can't we fucking say this movie's name? All right, so Synchronic. This is something that we stumbled across a trailer about a month ago. Looked at the trailer, I was like, man, this actually looks really good. And I sent it to you, and you're like, holy shit, this looks really good. And it occurred to me this actually came out last year in theaters, limited release due to the pandemic.
Limited.
And now it's finally available. You can rent it, or it's also, I rented the damn thing, but then it came out on Netflix like 2 days later.
Yeah, good work.
Good work on my part. So you can actually watch Synchronic right now on Netflix, and holy shit, I recommend this movie. Really, really recommend this movie. Please tell me I wasn't the only one that struggled to watch it. In terms of like following the story, or just struggled with the movie in general?
Enjoyment, I think.
He's talking about enjoyment. Okay, well, first of all, Tone, I'm going to come over to you first because I think you and I are a little bit different on this, just slightly.
Just slightly.
So slightly. Cuddles, if you would like to call in and chime in on it, I mean, I would love
after we're done here
to get your thoughts on this, buddy. Sorry, it was so slow. Okay, well, hold on. Cuddles, do you want to call in? Cuddles, if you want to call in, I would love to get your thoughts on this. I'll wait for him to reply. I would like to hear Cuddles' thoughts if he wants to call in. But Tone, please, your thoughts on Synchronic.
I really enjoyed the movie. Listen, anytime a movie keeps my attention the full time, where I don't look at my phone, or I'm not, trying to get up and use the bathroom or something crazy, which I know is rare, right? I really enjoyed every minute watching this movie. It was a very fun movie. It's a very short movie. I think it would have benefited from more time.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended. Honestly, like a 2.5 hour movie would have been better, or like you maybe said, maybe a series or something. I know you'll dive a little deeper into that, but I really, really, really liked the movie. I didn't think it was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was another one of those ones where he keeps saying it, so it was close to greatness. We were this close. I always go to Ben Mendelsohn in Rogue One. This close to greatness, but wish that we could have explored more of the reasons, the whys, the whats. Like some of the stuff was very unanswered, and I don't mind stuff left to the imagination. Matter of fact, I think sometimes things work really well with that. However, you deal with time.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some good explanations about the workings of it in this universe
and how the synchronic drug,
right. But as far as that part of it, but like when you get into time, sometimes it just needs to be. I mean, I hate to say believable because it's clearly a fantasy sci-fi movie, but there is a level of like you want to kind of like believe it.
Right.
Especially when it comes to
you got to
time.
suspend disbelief for a little bit for these types
right,
of movies.
But you want somebody to sometimes attempt, like from a serious angle, why this stuff works the way it does. And we didn't really get that. I felt there was like kind of a not a payoff with some of that.
Sure.
Because like when there's time jumpings and he's exploring that and figuring that out,
mm-hmm.
I wanted more. Like there was some really cool scenes. The Ice Age scene was probably one of my favorite parts of that entire movie, very honestly. And I'll never
not because of the caveman, but because of
how's that sound?
That woolly
mammoth in the background. That's really about it. I mean, like I don't have a whole. There's probably some great conversation in there that I'm missing about some of the life lessons and stuff like that. And I know you usually will dive a little bit deep into that too, but for the most part, for me, I just wanted more of that sci-fi. I just wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have done some more films too that have some like cult following notoriety that I think we want to talk about at some point. Check out.
Yeah.
Endless is
The Endless is
the
the one that's
and
more.
there's another one too.
Yeah, there's another one, but the Endless is the one that's really is really.
Yeah, not around here, Rinjob. Wrong basement for that. But again, I did enjoy it. I'm gonna tell everybody watch it. It's one of the. It's not a super thinker. Again, maybe for some folks it is.
I think there's a little bit of depth to it. Yeah,
there's a little bit more depth. Maybe I missed some on. But I did enjoy it. I definitely recommend it. Watch it. I had a good time with it. It's definitely far from the worst movie I've ever watched, and it just wasn't great to me. It was A minus.
A minus is pretty good though.
Not an A+.
You're not wrong about that. So first of all, this stars, obviously Anthony Mackie and Jamie Dornan, and obviously Anthony Mackie, we're all big fans of. He's been amazing in the MCU. He's got a couple other movies that are really good. The first season of Altered Carbon.
He was in the second season, Altered
Carbon.
That's
the one that was kind of underwhelming.
Wasn't the writing was bad. It wasn't Anthony Mackie's fault. And he was great as Papa Doc in 8 Mile.
Gotcha. But Jamie Dornan, who I am unfamiliar with outside of the fact that I know that he's in the 50 Shades movies. My wife always talks about those. She's seen all of them. And she even said, he's not that good of an actor. He's not that. He's kind of weak in those movies. I was like, oh, okay, well, great. Can't wait to see this movie. But he's actually really good in this movie. Jamie Dornan is actually really good in this movie. I was like, oh, this guy's actually got some ability, and he does very well alongside Anthony Mackie. I think they're both actually really good in this movie. They have great chemistry. Obviously, they're lifelong friends. They've known each other for a long time, so you got to have that chemistry, that synergy to make that work on screen, and they definitely have that. They both have a complex nature to them. Both of them have struggles that they're dealing with internally in terms of like where they are in life. Anthony Mackie, he lost his family a long time ago, and he's kind of just, he drinks a lot. He's just sleeping around. He has no like real direction in life. He's just kind of doing whatever he wants, and I don't think he gets much gratification out of life. Whereas Jamie Dornan's married, he's got kids, but his wife and him, they're at odds. Like, he's kind of an asshole. Jamie Dornan's character is kind of an asshole, and he conveys that very, very well. But these guys work together as paramedics in New Orleans. And early on in the film, they're going around on all these different grisly scenes. People are dying in horrible ways. And the one constant amongst all these scenes is there's signs of this drug called Synchronic. And it's like a genetically engineered drug, or what's the word? What is it called?
But the way they're dying is like odd. It doesn't fit the scenario.
Yeah, it's a designer drug that's developed so it can be legal, so it's not illegal, and that's like the one constant at all these scenes. And so, Anthony Mackie's character Steve, he's given some unfortunate news from his doctor.
Yeah.
And Jamie Dornan's character, his daughter is she disappears, and related to Synchronic as well. So what Anthony Mackie's character does, he decides, look, I got to try to figure out what's going on here. He grabs the last few packs of Synchronic because it's been discontinued. There's some stuff that goes down with the creator of the drug. And that, I feel like, is one of those points in the movie where I agree with you 100%. I wish they would have went deeper into it. I don't know if they could have made the movie longer, or if I still think this movie probably would have benefited from going as a mini series. Or like, I'm not even talking multiple seasons, just a mini series, like 6 episodes, like how we got with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so they could really take time to elaborate and dive into the plot, because I do feel like they have some good ideas, but I don't want to say they feel rushed. I just feel like they're a little light.
They could have been explored deeper, I think.
Yeah,
It'd been more satisfying.
It's a little bit light. But overall, like, the overarching story is really, really good, and the struggles that these two have to deal with, and the way that they try to come to terms with them as they help each other back and forth. That's, again, it comes back to their friendship, and that comes out that conveys so well. And they're trying to help each other through stuff. And there's a lot of stuff when it gets into the time travel element. There is some really good ideas that is explained about midway through when the creator of the drug kind of explains to Anthony Mackie how time travel works. He doesn't really explain how the drug is able to do it. He doesn't really get into that, but as long as you give me an idea of how the time travel works in this capacity, I'm cool with it. And it was decent. I thought it was pretty decent. Like, it was cool how they explained, especially when you're talking about a record and the needle.
That was a great way of.
It was a great analogy.
I really enjoyed that.
And the way they how they use that to describe how time travel works in this story. And overall, man, it's an engaging story. I was into it the entire time. I know some folks were saying it was slow. I just thought it was. I don't want to say it was slow, but it in an hour and 40 minutes, I felt like it was a pretty good pace. I felt it was a pretty good pace.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it helps that the performances were really, really well. And despite the fact that this is a low budget film, it looks really good. Like, this is a good looking movie, both from a technical CGI, sound, photography. Everything about this movie is high quality despite the budget.
I just, again, like, the pacing was fine for me, and that's just it. Is like, it's such a weird movie because, like, while I wanted more from it, I was engaged the entire time. Like, I couldn't stop watching it. I was so into watching it. So it's just kind of one of those weird setups where, like, for me, normally, like, in a movie like this, I would be like, okay, well, I'm kind of losing my interest maybe, or I want to do something different, but I didn't at all. And at the end of it, I was like, I enjoyed that movie, but man, I felt kind of bummed, like it was anticlimactic, and that's just mostly from some of the explanation, some of the filler in there that we didn't get.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff where they kind of oh 7 tangents, you dick. But exclamation point claim. I'm like, really? Did it happen already?
That's funny.
What a son of a bitch. No, I really enjoyed it though. I thought it was a really, really good movie, and I would love if more people in the chat actually went and watched it. Go check it out, because I feel like if we got a lot of people to watch this, and we could have a community discussion one night here on Banter and Babble, like have a B&B community discussion night where we can bring multiple people on, focus on one topic. Like a movie like this, I think is thought provoking. I think there is room for interpretation. I think there is ways to see things and be like, yeah, maybe it meant this, maybe it meant this, because the ending does leave a lot open for interpretation. There's a lot of different ways to interpret what happened to these characters.
It's true, and
I think there could be a good conversation there. So if you guys and girls, if enough of you check this out, it's available on Netflix. Check it out. We want to get your thoughts on it. And if you guys want to be a part of like a community discussion, I'd be all for it. I think that'd be a lot of fun, because I think there's a lot of different perspectives on this movie, and that could make for some good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So overall thoughts on Synchronic?
I really enjoyed it. Definitely watch it. It was really good. It wasn't great. But I think a lot of movies fall into that. So definitely give it a shot. I want to hear people's thoughts.
Jay Hill says, I think with all the streaming services now, we need more of the movies that are put into a short 4 to 6 episode series. No sequels, just basically a longer movie to flesh out science.
Fuck yeah, man.
1,000% agree.
Fuck yeah.
1,000% agree. I think and I feel like that's where we're kind of moving towards with, like HBO Max and Disney. Like, they're all testing. Obviously, they're putting full movies out there right now. But I think once they see the engagement and the viewership, they're going to be like, fuck, man. I mean, obviously, Netflix and HBO have been doing it for a long time with a lot of their shows that have done so well over the years, because they've been able to really expand upon it because they're in show format, like TV show format, as opposed to movie format.
Right.
And you take some of these movies that are really smart movies or really good movies that are just kind of like restricted to that hour and 40-minute runtime or a smaller budget. Man, if they could expand upon it and have a different outlet, a different platform to put their stuff out on, it could turn out to be a much better product.
Yeah, and that's why, like, sometimes, that debate between, the TV and the movie and this, like this, like you can say with Star Wars, like, that's why some of the best stuff right now is on TV. They got time to flesh it out.
Oh man, look at what an idea! Crash says, "I want a B&B audio commentary for some movies."
Oh, that's not without the realm of possibility.
Yes, movie commentary, please. B&B movie nights. B&B movie nights is something we need to really try to figure out what we want to do, or when we can do those on Amazon. We can do like those viewings, or we can do something in Discord where we can get people in there and talk about stuff. I think that could be a lot of fun.
We've definitely been working on some ideas for some of that stuff. It's just a matter of the time to execute, I think, is been our problem.
Would love to get to that stuff, but Josh is so fucking adamant about me getting channel points working. I guess that's the focus right now.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
Water
No B&B movie nights
first.
until Jay Hill gets his options for channel points.
Scroll down a little bit. There was some comments on there. Managed to catch some stuff. I want to make sure I get everybody in here.
That's what I'm gonna, actually. That's one thing I'm going to put towards channel points. Is if somebody has a particular comment.
Code for Master Song. Right. Just want to make sure we didn't miss anything good. I know y'all got some good stuff to say. I want to make sure we don't.
I know. Was it Just Canadian said they're really excited for that. Without Remorse that comes out next.
Yes.
Next
very
Friday.
Very excited for that too.
Or not next Friday, the following Friday.
That's just a couple out.
But yeah, April 30th. Really excited for Without Remorse. That looks fucking sweet.
Just want to see if there's anything to talk about or highlight. A lot of people got some good stuff out there. Don't want to miss y'all. I know there's a lot going on in the chat all the time. We won't ever shut up. But we appreciate y'all. Oh yeah, somebody had the funny one that I did catch was so Synchronic's basically like Nuke from RoboCop 2. Absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Has anyone tried the Watch Together feature in Disney Plus? Just wondering if it works and how it works. I haven't even heard of Watch Together.
Yeah, it's like the watch party in that. Do that?
I don't even know.
Somebody's got actual accounts.
Please never shut up. I love listening.
Thanks, dude.
My comments are garbage. Please don't give me any points. Rin job, come on. And J-Hill has to mention RoboCop 3. How do you put J-Hill in timeout? We don't speak of RoboCop 3 around these parts.
Yes.
Cuddles found out the hard way. We don't want to get him going on RoboCop 3. But, Synchronic is definitely worth to watch, you guys. I think it's thought-provoking stuff. I think there's a good story there. Like most of you agreed. More would have been better. So, check it out. Share your thoughts on YouTube or in the Discord, whatever. We want to get your thoughts on this movie because I feel like there's a really good conversation to be had there. So, King Calls is gone. Here we go. Crash's Watch Party just sends a link to people to watch something on D+ in sync. Oh, so everyone gets a link, and then when you start watching it, so we could all technically be in Discord chat. Everyone has the link. They click the link, and it takes them, and it starts the movie at the same time. I'm assuming that's what it is. Something to that effect. That sounds pretty cool, though. Something we could look into.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of options.
Nobody ever wants to talk about Mighty Ducks except for me and Cuddles.
Oh, I haven't watched another episode yet.
I love the series.
Have you been watching all of it?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
You're a fucking liar,
I know I'm not at all. I'm caught up on Mighty Ducks, dude. I'm enjoying
fucking liar.
I'm enjoying it.
You ain't enjoying shit.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our next topic. We got
Cab's caught up.
A new trailer this week.
We did get a new trailer this week.
Got a new trailer this week.
Yeah.
And it's one that I'm interested in because I really know nothing about this storyline. I know you've got some things that you wanted to say about that. There's some, not you personally, but there's a lot of people kind of hoping that this will kind of fix some stuff that's been done in the past.
Some of us were talking about it on social medias too.
But let's check out the trailer for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Coins.
Did you say coins?
Coins.
I mean rings?
Rings. I'm thinking of coins.
Or like Sonic, not Mario. Fucker.
I gave you 10 years to live your life. Now you see me rise. And where did that get you? You walked in my shadow. I trained you. So the most dangerous people in the world couldn't kill you. Son, it's time for you to take your place by my side. You better watch out, 'cause it's my time. That's not going to happen. You can't outrun who you really are.
Who are you?
Bugger.
Hold on, everybody! We make a good team.
All right. September 3rd. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings. Tone, initial reactions to this trailer. Now, again, and here's the thing, man. Again, I am hyped for it. I thought it was a really good trailer,
Right.
but I have no knowledge of Shang-Chi.
That's fine. And I really honestly don't have a whole lot of knowledge either, truth be told. There's not everything I'm able to kind of dive in or have a lot of knowledge in. This is kind of one of those ones where I'm at. But before I break into that, don't forget, if you have not yet entered into the giveaway, !enter will get you into that chance to win a B&B t-shirt or a coffee mug, one of your choice if you do win.
15 minutes.
So, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Shang-Chi. The only thing that I'm excited about is that we're talking about the 10 rings again. And what you were kind of referring to earlier. Now, of course, don't get me wrong. This movie looks awesome. Like, anytime there's any form of, like, Eastern-style combat, I'm probably going to instantly gravitate to it. So, I'm definitely already into this kind of action flick. So, but we know from Iron Man 3, having the Mandarin, and Iron Man 3 is definitely very controversial in the MCU. I'm not as big a hater as everybody else because, and this would be something we could dive into someday if you guys want to talk about. I actually feel like there are some aspects of it I do agree is not good, but there's actually some existential, like, think of like the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. There are some definitely some definite real story kind of stuff going on with that Iron Man 3 in a different route though, and it was hard for people to get, but that's fine. Point is, Mandarin in that was very, very underutilized and kind of weak and kind of a goofball. So what we're hoping for, some of us, is that either they fix Mandarin a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. We don't know if it will end up like that or not. They probably won't even mention it. I'm gonna guess at this point they're gonna stay away from the Mandarin.
Just because of what happened in Iron Man 3?
Well, I would hope they don't though, because they did have that video come out after with Sir Ben Kingsley coming back and doing a little. It was like a 3-minute video or something crazy to kind of like help fix that because he was so much of a clown.
I mean, what a goofy way to fuck that up. And you have Ben Kingsley.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you fuck that up like that? Like, don't even start on Iron Man 3. I know. However, point is, looks great. Can't wait for it. Really, really hope that there's something involving, because the Mandarin and the 10 rings kind of sometimes go hand in hand. Hopefully he's involved somehow. Maybe they fix that a little bit. That's really the big piece of it, I think, for some of us out there right now.
I want to circle back to Iron Man 3. What was your issue with the Mandarin and the way he was portrayed in this movie?
He was portrayed like just a average dippy. Like, he had no... Like, he was calling himself the Mandarin, controlling the 10 rings. Like, you saw the symbol, the 10 rings behind him and the swords and shit like that, and you were thinking, oh, shit, like, this is going to get real deep into that, and then he just ended up being a goof. He was like a drunk, like an actor named Trevor. I'm just Trevor. I just drink beers, and what's the ladies doing and stuff like that. Mandarin was like, of some of the ones that Iron Man could have that wasn't, like, an equal to him or something like that. Mandarin was a pretty legitimate, like, villain, and one of those ones that are bigger than just like a street level villain. He had some pull around globally.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very big waste of that character.
Man, that's disappointing. Crash says, I'm very excited. Shang-Chi is very much a D-list character, and I'm glad Marvel is going to bring him into the light.
Absolutely. And I think that's, I mean, we look back at what happened with the Guardians.
Right, yeah.
Honestly, and I keep making jokes about this. I'm like, well, this is basically what Iron Fist should have been. Like, Iron Fist was so fucking shitty.
What was the deal with Iron Fist?
Iron Fist, you had a dude that had no background in any form of martial art, and like, that's just one of them. Besides the fact, like I have nothing against Finn Jones. I actually don't mind his acting. He did not fit the role, and he definitely needed to be trained in some form of combat, because you can tell, like, when you watch a scene like in Daredevil season 3 when they're in the hallway doing that immaculate fight scene, and then you have a scene in Iron Fist when they have to do like 30 different takeaways in a fight scene to cut it up. You know that it's fucking stunt doubles and it's just bullshit. You can't have that in like some form of like combat, especially if it's like an Eastern style martial arts, because it's so fast.
It's got to be fluid.
It's got a certain look to it.
Yeah,
and it looked like shit.
Was it just multiple edit cuts and all this stuff?
Dude, it's bad. Like, it's bad. Like,
so
I can't think of anything that's worse than that.
Yeah, and that type of combat, it's all about the fluidity. It's all about the way it's choreographed. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a movie, and it's got to be choreographed well. Like, you look at John Wick, there's a lot of scenes in that movie that are one continuous take. There's still cuts and edits and shit, but there's a lot of stuff. It's those long takes that gives you helps you appreciate the style of combat. And when they don't have those cuts, if you just do fast, you turn into a Michael Bay movie and there's edits everywhere and there's cuts and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? and it's so goofy. Carl says Shang-Chi was an Avenger. I know nothing about this dude, but the movie looks awesome. Somebody else said something.
Crash
Magus
that
said,
too.
from what I heard, the guy in the throne in the trailer is supposed to be the Mandarin. From what IGN posted on Twitter.
Because Trevor was supposed to be like originally when they said he's like, because he even said it in that, like, I'm not the Mandarin, I'm kind of playing like as a Mandarin, but the Mandarin's not real, but he's supposed to be like a real character. So I hope they address it. I don't want them to ignore it. Like, they need to say it like, yeah, we had this dickhead out there kind of like being the fake face of him because we don't want to know the identity of the real Mandarin. So I'm hoping so. And Crash said something about too that there's rumors that these won't be rings instead. Like rings, they'll be like bracelets or something.
Yeah, he did.
I think that's a neat concept. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine on that. Like little things like that, like doesn't whatever fits the narrative, right? Because they've kind of dealt with something on their hands.
Yeah, here's where he said, very interested in what they're going to do with the Mandarin since I believe this version is an MCU original creation, and I think the 10 rings being more of a bracelet than an actual ring is a sweet change.
Yep, I'm down with that. Like Sonic.
There was one other question I wanted to ask you about this. What's main storyline do you think this is going to be connected to? Is this going to be a how does this fit into the current MCU?
That I honestly don't know. Like, the only link you theoretically could have would be Iron Man 3, but I'm going to guess this is going to play into a bigger picture. If I had to guess off the top of my head.
It's kind of like a redo for this storyline, sort of like,
I think this is a starting, like, they're going to build for whatever
like
phase.
They fucked it up in Iron Man 3.
Right.
Well, like, okay, phase 4 is kind of like a reset.
Maybe New Avengers, King Cuddles, I think that's kind of part of it. I mean, you're seeing a lot of, like, shades of New Avengers and, like, the younger ones right now with, like, Scarlet Witch's kids and stuff like that. So there's very big possibility of that too. I'm almost wondering if because of the rings and of their power, I wonder if this is going to lead or have something maybe to do with the Eternals. I don't know. The Eternals is really going to be quite a deep dive and really separate from a lot of the material in some way. But I guess we won't know. I really don't know for sure what their plan is with this.
You mentioned before the show you stumbled across something online that there could be another reference to Wolverine.
So there is a sword. The Muramasa is in this, and I believe it was Wolverine that's had his hands on that before too. Muramasa is a name of a sword of legendary status in real history, but it's used often in video games as well too. So that name of that blade I think is somewhere in this trailer or something, but it does reach back to yes, Wolverine. So Fu Manchu, yeah, Fu Manchu is a whole thing too. So
yeah, let's. Crash always throws down
Crash
the knowledge,
has usually got a lot.
So
of
I'm going to read it, and I don't care. Shang-Chi was raised by Fu Manchu, not kidding, to be a powerful warrior and is sent to kill somebody, but learns that his father is actually evil. So I'm thinking Shang-Chi may be the son of the Mandarin. Got to cut out the old questionable things.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's kind of, he threw that a little bit light at me the other days. That's a very good take. Just Canadian for the record, yes, I actually love the character Iron Fist. The series just sucked because...
Just Canadian, are you referring that when you say I love Marvel's Iron Fist, are you referring to the show or are you referring to the character? What's the name of the character? Is that the character's name, Iron Fist? I didn't see anything with the show, so I don't know much about this character.
The Iron Fist. Yeah, I can't even think of his last name because I don't care right now.
Cuddles says he heard Frodo Baggins is in the movie. That's fucking sweet.
That's cool.
No, is he joking? Does he mean like the character Frodo Baggins?
Or no, because there's 10 rings. He wants to take all 10 to Mount Doom.
Oh, okay. Oh, Canadian's referring to the show.
Oh,
really?
Wow, let's ban him real quick.
Just kidding, just Canadian. Shang-Chi is not only a master of martial arts, but he can also create multiple versions of himself to fight people with. I didn't know that. That's deep stuff.
Well, that sounds fucking cool.
I mean, overall, though, I thought the trailer was dope. It had a lot of, like you said, a lot of good combat, a lot of good action. The character, the actor portraying, his name escapes me. I saw it just when they announced it the other day because I never heard of this.
What's his name, Cuddles?
His name escapes me, but appears to have that on-screen presence. He appears to have that charisma, so that's pretty dope. Panic says Iron Fist was a snooze fest. Laughing as that and Luke Cage was the two shows out of all the Marvel shows that I love. I heard Luke Cage is really good.
I'm a huge fan of Luke Cage. That's usually controversial to hear somebody else say that's really great. I think Luke Cage is very, very, very underrated. There's some campy stuff I could pick it apart a little bit on some certain things, but overall, I really, really like Mike Culture as that character and liked how it fit in. So I'm a big fan of Power Man, but
Cap
strong
just threw
name.
down a nice link in there for YouTube if you guys and girls are interested. Check it out. Shang-Chi explained video on you.
Oh,
Gives
sweet.
you a little bit of a dive.
What up?
Simu Liu, I think I'm butchering the name, probably how to pronounce it, but Simu Liu, that's the person that's portraying
Excellent.
Shang-Chi.
Excellent.
But no, it looks entertaining. It looks fun. Looks like it'll be a good time. I'm really curious to see how it's going to tie into the MCU and how they're going to fit this character into it, and where his place at the table is going to be. But yeah, this was a dope trailer. It was exciting, and that's all I really want from Marvel stuff. They know how to make a hell of a trailer, and it looks like a lot of fun. And like Crash mentioned earlier, it's a D-list character. It's a smaller character in the MCU, and to bring them to the front,
That's exciting.
That's awesome. Because
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows Iron Man, everyone knows Thor. Let's bring up some of these obscure
and they've got
characters.
tons of characters they can do that with.
Tons of them.
They've got huge portfolio of characters they can do that with, and that's exciting because they might not get the fleshing out they deserve or the sight on them in the comics, but you put them, Marvel MCU, put them in, fuck it, run with it.
Like Crash just said there, kind of want Marvel to take unpopular characters and give them tweaked origins for the MCU just so there's more unique things to that universe. Absolutely.
Hands down.
You bring in other obscure. They don't have to have huge parts, or huge, they don't have to be a huge piece of the puzzle at the overall scheme of things, but just give some of these more obscure characters that maybe people don't know about, give them their, their justice, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So,
I think Just Canadian. That's a lot. I will say I will agree to disagree. I think.
Well, before you let me just say it.
Yes.
This is per Just Canadian. Finn Jones was a good fit, aside from the fighting, because he portrayed the shyness of someone coming from a small, confined place to the unknown of the big world. I will say that the fighting was bad at times, but I think the big picture was of how he portrayed the character in its own.
It could have been done by a better actor, I think, for one. Two, the fight scenes. You're the immortal Iron Fist. You're supposed to be the greatest martial artist in the MCU or whatever you want to say, and he did not come across as it. It should have been casted by another guy that could actually do a little bit of action work or handle it. It would have made the flow better.
Wow. Cuddle says, I bet this will be a better martial arts movie than Jiu-Jitsu.
Dude. I don't think anybody's going to challenge that.
No, I think Cuddles is pretty accurate on that one. I think that's a safe bet. Iron shits. Panic Games is just giving Just Canadian the business right now.
I know. Well, this is what we do at Banter and Babble. We can agree to disagree.
Disagree
to disagree, I
or
guess.
Be a prick about it.
Or be a prick about it, yeah.
All right, before we get to our next topic, how you doing?
What's I don't even know what's up next.
Well, actually, hold on a
Wait,
second. Whoa. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
If you haven't entered in yet, ! Enter to win an opportunity to choose between a Banter and Babble t-shirt or a Banter and Babble mug, your choice. 2 minutes, 5 seconds to enter. Really excited about this, you guys. I meant to actually grab a couple photos of it to showcase them here, but all you have to do is click on the link to have an opportunity to take a look at what you want and let us know after the winner. If you win, let us know which one you want, and we'll have that sent to you ASAP. U.S. only, I think. I mean, I don't. How does that work? If you buy, we got to pay for the shipping. So U.S. only, preferably U.S. only. If you win,
I don't know.
I don't know how much it's going to cost to ship a T-shirt to Europe.
Yeah. We not with everything going on right now. It would be hard to.
It'd be very difficult to do that.
So Just Canadian. So it doesn't have to be like. There are people out there that can act and can do at least some physical work. Finn Jones can struggle with his acting and can't do any physical work. There's how many people on this fucking globe? They could have found somebody much better for that role. I know what you're saying when it comes to shyness and stuff like that, but did we ever see him don the actual true garb? Nope, and that's dumb too. Like, it's the fucking Iron Fist. Like, 2 fucking seasons and we got hardly shit for it. Like, Not especially when the other ones were so strong, like comparatively. Like,
right.
I argue with people all day that Jessica Jones was the strongest when it comes to the story side of it, just from the story alone. But I don't know. It didn't have to be a name. It doesn't have to be like a main actor too. Like Finn Jones is, he was riding on the Game of Thrones name. That's what was going on with Finn Jones. But they could have found somebody that could have done a little bit of both.
Who was he in Game of Thrones?
He was the Knight of Flowers. Tyrell. I can't think of his full name.
I
He
think
was the one that was Renly's boyfriend for a while.
Okay.
And then got forced to marry Circe.
Right. Okay. Now I know. Well, all right. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, exclamation point answer. Get in the drawing to win a Banter Babble t-shirt or mug. Whatever you decide. It'll be yours. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jimmy Z.
Jimmy Z.
Hey, Jimmy Z, you are the winner.
Congratulations, Laura Sorrell.
There it is. Jimmy Z, exclamation point claim, sir. Exclamation point claim. Get yourself a t-shirt or mug. Let us know. Exclamation point. There it is. Congratulations, Jimmy Z. Jimmy Z's a good dude. I like Jimmy G. He's always been a really good guy.
Appreciate your support for a lot of the time we've been doing this. Even.
Yeah, appreciate it. So, Jimmy, I will text you tonight, and you just let me know what you want.
May or may not have a dick pic. Saying.
Whether you want a t-shirt or a mug, just send me a text. Let me know. If you do the t-shirt, let me know what size. Cuddles actually just down below said some information on the shirts. Stream Elements runs about average on their sizes, not tight or anything. So if that's the route you decide to go, let me know. If not, we'll get you going. But yeah, congratulations, Jimmy Z, on winning.
Yeah, awesome, dude.
The giveaway. Appreciate that support, buddy. Now, you want to go to topic or do you got to go tinky?
Probably try to make a little.
Holy shit, you guys!
I can go a little bit.
Going to try to go a little bit longer here.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, let's do this.
All right,
move along.
All right, moving along to the next topic. Let's talk about Invincible, episode 6, and I feel like you liked this episode a little bit better than I did.
Yes.
Let's hear your thoughts on Invincible and why you liked it so much.
Because it kind of stepped outside of where it had been framing itself, which is very small circle of friends, exploring more of his super friends and less of his, like, play with the mic a little bit, less of his, like, real-life buddy from school. It kind of stepped him outside of that zone where he had to really manage his identities for the first time.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
I thought that was really unique because I was watching. I'm like, what's he gonna fucking do? Why don't you fucking do something, you dummy, or something? What's going on? Plus the things they were fighting gave me shades of RoboCop. So I'll be very honest. That was
there were
nice.
some heavy RoboCop.
So I was really way into that. Excuse me. But it kind of fit that, that trope of like, hey, I'm the young high school kid going to the college and partying and having the girl problems. And there was a lot of cliches in it. Was it its strongest episode? No. Did I like it more than you? Yeah. There wasn't a lot of overall story development, I don't think. But I did enjoy it still. Probably more than like a couple that like episode 2 or 3 or whatever it was. But yeah, that's really about it. It's not a. We got some really good scenes, and I know you want to break. I'm going to leave that for you to break down. But there was some dialogue in this episode that could have been like it could have been like a Scorsese movie, and that was pretty wild. I really enjoyed that. So, yeah, good stuff. I'm even on a bad episode so far. They might not be like great. They're not all turds though either. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I really am. Who knows how long till Kirkland's going to fuck this one up? But we'll keep watching.
Come on, man. You're not going to fuck it up that bad.
No, okay.
First thing I want to mention is, and I know I'm apparently the only fan of Ezra Miller here, but Ezra Miller actually was a special guest voice. I don't know if he's going to be in the entire series going forward. I think his character is probably a one and done, but
hopefully.
Even though you don't like Ezra Miller, you have to say he was pretty good in this in terms of his voice acting.
Oh, I don't give a shit about it, but there was a pretty unique voice in it too. I don't want to forget to mention either.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. But overall, did you like the character Deacon? As sinister as he was.
Anybody that could have done his voice would have been better.
Jesus
no.
Christ.
Yeah, no. Actually, I didn't.
Had I not mentioned it was Ezra Miller, you would have been like,
Deacon's a great character. No. Seriously, jokes aside, no. I thought that was it was very cliche. You could kind of know right away. But yeah, I thought it was a really cool character. I actually did enjoy that, and I'd forgotten about that because I was so focused on the RoboCops. I kind of forgot about that part of it. So.
But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot in terms of the main story arc until with the exception to the ending where obviously Debbie has discovered now that Nolan is more than likely the one that killed the Guardians, and she confronts him about it, but not before she goes to visit Art, who is voiced by the one and only Mark Hamill, and she kind of gets that confirmation from him that look, he had to have done this. But then Nolan shows up at the shop and has a sit down with Art to kind of confirm whether or not Art is still on his side or not, even though he knows Art knows. And like you mentioned, it was kind of like one of those awkward scenes like in a Scorsese movie where there's like a little back and forth when you know there's more to like the
Tension.
intent of one character, and Nolan obviously could just tear Art apart if he wanted to, but you know, Art being his tailor and fixing his suit and whatnot. Wait, who here has read the comics and watched the show? But Blanco, I have not read the comics, but I have watched. I obviously have been watching the show. But right now, like I said, and I feel like, you know, he says, you know, I'm lost. I'm lost too, because every time they kind of break away from the main story arc and they try to explore some of the smaller characters, or Eve, for example, in this episode was just a goofy
weak.
storyline. It was a weak storyline for Eve trying to figure out what she wants to do with her powers.
Daddy issues.
And it was just her daddy issues. But, you know, it was just, I felt overall it was a step back from the previous 2 episodes. Obviously, 4 and 5 are really fucking good. You know, episode 1 was strong. It had the crazy ending, the Red Wedding style ending. 2 and 3, we were kind of like, man, trying to cram too much into short time. But then 4 and 5, they really started to flesh out. Yeah, 4 and 5 especially fleshed out a lot of the main storyline and kind of gave you an idea of what these characters, their intent is. But then this one was just kind of a step back. I didn't think it was the worst one of the entire series. But overall, I'm hoping next week's episode will kind of pick up a little bit more and get back to that main storyline, especially with the robot and those 2 clones and what they're doing with Explodey guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I can't think of his name,
with his DNA. So
pretty fucking cool though.
There are some cool story elements that they're exploring. This was just one of the episodes where they just decided not to explore those, and you're just kind of like, shit, man. You know, when you try to like explore some of these side characters and their arcs are just not as strong as the main ones. So kind of a meh episode, but we'll see. Overall, still enjoying it. I mean, the art style is beautiful, and I love the violence when it does ratchet up. It gets pretty intense. But there were some strong elements to the show, but definitely not the strongest show, and weaker than the previous 2.
No, and
you wanted to give a shout out to one of the voices at the beginning of the show.
So I noticed right away that the first character that pops out, that's a new character, college student, and I'm like, dude, that's Justin Roiland. Am I crazy? And sure enough, I paused it right away, and you could hear, because you could hear like, that sounds like Rick from Rick and Morty without the like over the top Morty, you know. And sure enough, I paused, and of course, I like tell you, I love that feature about Amazon Prime, the pause in the IMD, and sure enough,
just said that. Really love Amazon's X-ray feature.
Dude,
the show.
It's fucking great. And so yeah, totally. It's Justin Roiland doing a voice there, real quick as in a little cameo, and then which was exciting. But we go back to that discussion, and I'll wrap it up with this: is that that discussion that they had that felt like a Scorsese film or whatever you could say, really any great director and dialogue. That's really a tribute to J.K. Is it J.K.?
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, and I always think of Mark Hamill and J.K. Simmons. I was trying to think of the Harry Potter writers for some reason. The two of them, because Mark Hamill's been doing this for so long.
Yep.
And J.K. Simmons, he even looks like the role, so he just fits.
It looks like J.K. Simmons.
It's just great, and he's such a great actor. It's really a tribute to those two being able to do that, and they're probably not even in the same room. They're probably literally shooting or doing the voice acting in different times. But that really, if it hadn't had people like that, it might not have come through like that.
Yeah,
but goddamn, that really did.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is obviously, he's very good at voice acting, and Mark Hamill is obviously.
Yeah, because J.K. Simmons has been doing it for a while too, for lots of different shit. You just don't realize, like a lot of small roles too.
Yeah, no, it was a great scene at the end there with him and Art. So hopefully that will carry over to the next episode. We'll get some more, and I do like the interactions between Nolan and his wife Debbie. That things are starting to.
That tension's really good.
The tension is really there. So Nolan dealing with a lot of issues at home. The walls are kind of squeezing in on him. He's running out of places to hide. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how he deals with that, being the most powerful human or most powerful person on the planet.
Powerful thing.
He can end a lot of things right away. Cuddle says, "With channel points, can we do a community challenge? And if we meet it, you do a B&B hot tub stream." I mean, it is the big thing on Twitch right now.
That is true.
Is it really big right now on Twitch?
Yeah,
hot tubs?
Yeah, that's.
My wife's parents have a hot tub. and I could just set up the laptop out there.
Yeah, but did you have to lick your lips when you looked at me?
I'm
And
gonna make that like 20,000 points.
No, you'd have to
though.
do more than that if you wanted. You'd be doing it like in a week.
Cuddles would just leave the
I'll
channel.
guarantee.
Yeah.
Some of these guys have 20,000 sitting here. I
That's
guarantee
true.
it.
God damn it, dude.
Some of these guys probably have like multiple 20s of thousands actually.
On this-
Cuddles, how many channel points do you have?
Okay,
right
so
now?
Cap has 10K now. All right, so we're gonna put at least like 200K.
Right. He has 20K. Okay, well, that's about
19.2K for
Right,
Jeez,
right.
I really gotta come up with some fucking shit for channel points.
Yeah. We're
I will get
we're
that
working
shit
on it, guys.
sorted for you guys very, very fast.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of doing channel points though for like the chat. If somebody wants to make a point of a serious point about the conversation we're talking, so we don't have to like sit there
And if they can't
scroll
call
through.
in,
It'll actually pop up in color so it stands out so I can.
well, we
see
do
it.
have the highlight. That's already there.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I
You think
can't
more than that.
I can't do more than one. Like I can't double click. Like so if they do like if it says highlight my comment, it'll pop up so I can see it. So
Fair enough, Gypsy.
points for shots, I do like that.
That might be careful. We might have to be careful. No. No, TOS.
Oh, terms of service. Well, look, we want to have some fun, but we also want to get the channel canceled.
We gotta watch. Yeah, we gotta watch the TOS.
Well,
stuff.
we'll do some research. We'll do some research.
Yeah, that could be something that would be TOS. I think it's time though.
Oh, it's time. We almost made it, you guys. We almost made it to the final topic.
The big one's coming.
But he is. It's a no. TOS. There it is.
Yep.
Cuddles knows.
You can't cheers either to people technically.
To drink to get them to drink.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could word some. Like, hey, you guys look like you guys are.
Right.
You guys are cute.
Hydrate.
I'll be like, oh wait, you know what? Let's do a shot.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
take that as the call sign
Yeah.
for it.
Hydrate.
Well, we'll see.
Hydrate.
I don't want to fuck with Twitch. All right, he's got to go tinky. We'll be right back. We got Falcon and Winter Soldier. Big conversation. A lot of good points from this week's episode. It's going to be a good one. We want to get you guys and girls' thoughts. We'll be right back. And look like a fucking psycho.
Good.
Welcome
Good.
back. All right, we're all done. Tone did his thing. I ended up grabbing another drink because they're going down real smooth tonight. Plus, it's been one of those weeks. I don't know about you guys. Like, seriously, man, when it comes to Wednesday, I hate my job enough to where it gets to Wednesday, I'm like, you know what? I need tonight. Thank you, Ant House Beats, for that subscription. You guys, if you're not following Ant House Beats, you better be. Follow him right here on Twitch. If you love his music, make sure you check it out on Spotify, iTunes. His streams have been awesome because he's showing how he makes his music. It's so fucking good. So make sure you follow Ant House Beats. He does the music for Banter Babble. We open and close with his music. So it's pretty awesome.
The bathroom in Midland.
And
Yeah.
he has to go all along.
Yeah, I like the Taco Bell in the mall in Midland.
Before we get into this,
Bathroom.
Blanco says, you guys talk about the change to Xbox Live. Yeah, as of right now, all free-to-play games, you don't need Xbox Live to play free-to-play games anymore. Everything from, like, Destiny 2 to Fortnite, all that stuff, you do not have to have...
So it's silver tier again. Gotcha. Anyways.
Silver tier. Have as review. Yes, that is Raspberry Lime Goes. And it is tasty as fuck, my friend.
Yeah, I haven't even tried that yet, and I gotta have one soon.
It's really good. You should go get one, Mr. Responsible.
No.
Fucking dope.
I'm already probably more.
All right. Moving on to our final topic. As always, we finish big. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Obviously, episode 4 was an incredible episode.
Yeah, how do you follow that up,
The
right?
ending was absolutely incredible. It was action-packed. There was a lot of great stuff going on. But, man, for my money, episode 5, despite what we saw from some critics who criticized the way they kind of like
the armchair critics.
The armchair critics. They kind of criticized the show for exploring some story arcs of side characters a little too much and not focusing on the main story arc. For my money, you guys, this might have been the best episode of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
We got plenty of action. The beginning of this episode was fucking wild with the battle between Sam, Bucky, and John Walker.
Shades of Civil War, baby.
Shades of Civil War.
What up, Nug?
6-piece Nug, what's going on, dude? This episode was fucking awesome. Not from just an action standpoint, but from a narrative standpoint.
This was a narrative completely episode. It was, and I don't want to say meta if that's the right word. It was very existential. We kick that word around here a lot, but I don't think we kick it around as much as we probably could. It's a very, very existential episode. There's a lot going on in this one. A lot of amazing storytelling going on that you wouldn't expect, I guess, to some degree, but hitting on some major stuff like.
Before we get into that, let's
we
talk about some of the other points first. Let's talk about the thing with John Walker at the beginning. Let's talk about the big reveal.
Right.
That's been hyped up. And then there's another thing I want you to get your thoughts on as well is the obviously the reveal, John Walker, the battle, and then what was the other thing that I wanted to get your thoughts on in the episode before we get to the let's start with those two things first.
Sure. So at the beginning of the episode with John Walker being on trial, really kind of like okay, he did something pretty bad in a public space. It's all over, he used the shield to beat somebody, bludgeon them to death. His trial though really kind of like if you really got to dial back and look at the perspective of things that he was coming from, what he was saying.
Yep.
Listen, war is not a pretty thing, and we all know that, right? There's a lot of bad stuff that you're going to do and a lot of stuff that you don't say probably.
Even witness, not even doing the stuff that you witness.
Right. And, clearly the scenario was a little bit different, but the way he was kind of like treated in that trial was just like another throwaway. And we see that too often. Like, listen, we ask our soldiers to go somewhere across the fight a war they have nothing to do with.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come home.
They might not even agree with.
Yeah, and they come home, and then we just yank the rug out from under them. I know friends personally that have dealt with the things they've dealt with the VA, trying to get the things that that they have right coming to them. They have rights for, or they deserve, for their service and things like that. And it just kind of felt like this trial, because he points it out. He's like, more or less, I've done these things for you, the things I've done, and
You trained me to do.
Yeah, you trained me to do, and then here I am. I'm being thrown away, right? And without any proper support or therapy or whatever you want to say. So it was very, very real in that sense, and that was really. I mean, I think that was really just one piece of what was going on in this episode. I don't think I expected this episode to dive as deep as it did.
Mm-hmm.
But it sure did. That was really kind of like that was what kicked it off.
Yeah, that was an incredibly powerful scene. And El Blanco says, can we take a moment to appreciate Wyatt Russell's range? Wyatt Russell is a phenomenal actor.
And boy, oh boy, do you get shades of his father when he gets mad or certain scenes.
Oh,
when he's
yeah,
doing stuff.
he's got that jaw, he's got that look, he's got that intensity.
When he yells, he sounds like...
Dude, there's a whole lot of Kurt Russell that comes from Wyatt Russell in the scenes where he has to be very intense, very vocal. And yeah, dude, the scene where he was on trial was so powerful because you feel bad for him. You understand he made bad choices, but he made these choices because he was pressured into it. He wasn't really given much. They're just like, here's the shield. You're Captain America. Now go fucking do what Steve Rogers did. There's a lot of pressure in that.
Right. He's had so much weight on his shoulders the entire season.
And I'm not, I don't want to make it sound like I'm justifying what he's doing. I'm not justifying his actions as Captain America. I'm justifying his anger at the court-martial at that hearing, why he was upset, why he's being, because they're saying, look, dude, you're fucking done. You're not getting any benefits. You're done.
But that too, but like with that pressure, like the decisions you make because of that pressure, you're not always in your right mind necessarily. Like you're going to run on emotion.
Right.
He ran completely on emotion when he did what he did. And I was telling the wife that when we were watching that too. I'm like, he's not a bad guy. They're framing him in some way as a bad guy. And sure, he might be a bad guy, but like anybody could make, like, just think of it was like your brother or something.
Mm-hmm.
How would you have fucking reacted?
Right.
And that's the thing about this show is that it's really kind of giving you a lot. It's giving you some real perspectives and wanting you to really kind of think outside of your comfort zone and put yourself in their shoes. And they did that. I think they've done that really well with John Walker.
Right.
Yeah, it's not Steve Rogers and it's not our Captain America. We get that. It feels uncomfortable and weird.
Right.
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to. And so after the court scene, we had heard rumors that we were going to get a big reveal. A new character or a big character was supposed to be introduced in this episode. And finally, after the court scene, the powerful court scene, John Walker and his wife are in the hallway outside talking about everything that just transpired. And up comes a person walking up to them, introduces herself, and we finally got to see Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who is playing the character, and this is the name, Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine, also known as
Madam Hydra.
Madam Hydra. A really cool scene. She basically comes in with the same energy that we see from her character in Veep. Very confident, very well-spoken, very convincing. And we finally got to see this big reveal, man. What's the importance behind her character?
That remains to be seen. I mean,
there's
some speculation. So it shows. For first thing I'll say with MCU, it shows that Hydra is still alive, and active more.
Yep.
She was originally an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. at one point. She dated Nick Fury at one point, and then she kind of spun off and did some of her own things. My guess is that some people speculate could she be the power broker because we still don't know who the power broker is.
Right. We have to find out.
Potentially, she could be. That sure. She's probably working for the power broker would be my guess. But is she creating like an evil team or something like that, or trying to get because technically eventually John Walker turns into U.S. agent who's kind of like a little bit shadier version of Captain America. So it's just exciting. I'm a big Hydra fan.
Right.
And as a big fan of like Winter Soldier and stuff like this, which was very prevalent, Hydra, this is good to see this kind of still coming alive. I'd listen. Overall, I don't know what the plan's going to be with her necessarily. Like, I felt like the reveal it's cool because it's a new character, but it was kind of underwhelming. I think myself falls into the like, oh boy, they're making all these like hints around Wolverine. Is it going to be something big? Like just like with WandaVision, we wanted Reed Richards. That never happened.
That didn't happen.
So
right.
the problem is like we all get excited and we all sit in social media rooms and circle jerk each other, and we want certain things, but we don't always get them. So you got to, at the very least, even if it's not what you want, and you don't have to flame it. Like people do that.
I think and not to cut you off, I think the
you're fine.
interesting thing about this is compared to Pietro, who ended up being just kind of like an homage, like, hey, here's a guy who played, Pietro in the other series, but that was pretty much all we got out of it. Whereas this one, you have an Emmy-winning actress, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and this is going to be a character that's going to be prevalent going forward.
A whole new character.
Yeah, this is a whole new character that's going to be going forward into the MCU. I think that makes this a bigger reveal because obviously it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Mhm.
It's a new character, and this isn't just going to be a one-off or just kind of like a little wink and a nod.
Right.
This is setting up for something bigger with her.
That's my guess. And like I said, like, I fall into the fanboyism and want these characters. I've been wanting. Listen, I've been saying for 15 plus some years that, boy, I can't wait till someday before I die. Hopefully, Marvel gets back the properties to X-Men out of Fox,
right.
And it finally happened. And I probably jerked off like 5 nights that week of excitement. I'm just being honest with you.
Too honest.
Right. So like I'm one of those guys. I want these characters that we haven't had under the MCU to be announced and get them going fast. And I got to slow myself on it. So because it's a Hydra character, regardless, and who she is, Madam Hydra and all that stuff, it's still really exciting to me. I fucking love Hydra. Hail Hydra all fucking day.
Oh my.
It's fucking grand. So we don't know how that's gonna fit yet. We'll wait to see. I'm excited about it regardless.
One thing I want to mention is Half-Ass Beer Review said, the writing on this show does a really good job of leading you where they want. At the start of the series, I wasn't sure if I was on board where the S.H.I.E.L.D. was headed, but everything they've done has pulled me in the direction that they're taking it. I almost felt similar to seeing the X-Wing at the end of Mando.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Cuddles did say, I know Cuddles also, we got a few vets out there too, Ant House and both Cuddles. Cuddles did say that, as far as they don't train you to like kill like that in open murder or when he killed him with the shield, cold-blooded murder. He's like, they don't train you to do that, So you're right on that too. I'm more highlighting like the emotional break that you have and the choices that you make and how you react in that moment. I think even in that sense, sometimes even people that are trained sometimes can't control their emotions. His best friend just died.
Jay Hill said, my big question is, I heard she was going to be introduced in Black Widow, but that got delayed so long that she got introduced in this first.
The rumors are still that she will have a little cameo in that as well too, or at least have something in there too. So, because originally Black Widow was supposed to come out with front before this, that was supposed to lead into this. So now it's kind of going backwards. So there's still something there, Jay Hill. We just don't know that thread yet.
COVID kind of fucked things up. So.
Yeah.
Panic just said that too. I heard she was supposed to show up first in the Black Widow movie. Yeah, once COVID hit, it kind of screwed up the release of everything. Obviously, Black Widow was supposed to be out in November.
Black Widow was supposed to be out last May.
March.
So
obviously it's been pushed back quite a bit, so that kind of fucks up the timeline. So they're probably trying to do the best they can to kind of keep things in order. But so that was really, really interesting to see her character finally revealed. Cool. Awesome to see Julia Louis-Dreyfus, obviously another acclaimed actor or actress in this series. That's all the MCU does is pulls in these just incredibly award-winning actors to portray these huge characters.
Yeah, and it's a lot of these folks who are kind of in their twilight of acting. Stallone,
right?
Nathan Fillion. Well, that kind of got shot down, but now you got her as well too. It's like, I'm not saying these people are begging for a McDonald's coupon for dinner,
right?
But it's cool to see that they're pulling in. It's just showing you that money definitely plays a big part of it too. Money makers draw.
Well, see, and the thing is, with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she's had a very successful run at Veep. So she knows good content when she sees it. So not only is it, I'm sure money has a lot to do with it because it's Disney money, but at the same time, these are performers. I don't want to say Stallone so much, but like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she looks at the material that she's going to be, a part of, and she'll decide, is this good for my skill set? And obviously, she was really happy with what she saw in terms of like the material.
Yeah, she's mega rich because she gets that Seinfeld money still.
Well, and I think she's married to or her dad's a billionaire.
But
she comes from like a ton of money,
right? But the point is, like, if 10 years ago we wouldn't have this conversation because the MCU wasn't where it was. But now, once we get flash forward through Endgame and you get all these actors in, and these are the movies people are talking about almost 24/7 for the next one because Disney does what Disney does, and here we are, and these people want to be involved, and then you start getting some of these actors involved, and then instantly some of those like that notoriety kind of continues to rise as well too. So it's awesome. Like fuck it, I'm all in for anything Hydra is always going to make me excited.
So we got the great battle at the beginning with Bucky, Sam, and John Walker. We got the reveal of
Jesus.
Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine, a.k.a. Madam Hydra. So we got that reveal, which was dope. But then we kind of slowed things down a little bit and started to explore what's going on with Sam at home. But then we got to a scene. We obviously were introduced to Isaiah Bradley a couple episodes back. Got to find out that there was another person that was very similar to Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got more information in this episode. And it's this meeting between Sam and Isaiah might have been the best writing, the best interaction between characters, the most revealing human stuff that we've seen in the MCU.
In the entire MCU.
In the entire, not just the TV stuff, in all of general. In all of the MCU. Absolutely fucking powerful, powerful stuff.
Yep.
And Tone, obviously Sam goes back to Isaiah to talk to him. He has the shield with him. And Isaiah goes on to explain what happened to him. And obviously, his story almost plays out verbatim to what Steve Rogers had done. Mm-hmm. They tricked, well, obviously not verbatim, but, Isaiah Bradley was tricked with multiple other black soldiers to getting a tetanus shot when they were really injecting them with the serum to see, in the process of trying to perfect the serum. And they told him it was tetanus, and all these guys got it, and a lot of them died from it. They didn't react well to it, and only a few of them survived. And it goes on to explain that at one point, a bunch of his fellow soldiers were taken prisoner. He busted out of where he was at. He went there. He brought them back. But because he had busted out, the U.S. government jailed him for disobeying orders.
Use that against him.
Used it against him the very way that they praised Steve Rogers for doing it in Captain America. Mm-hmm. He went against orders. He went in to save his fellow soldiers, brought him out, and he was celebrated. Whereas Isaiah was punished for 3 years, put in jail, experimented on, tortured basically, trying to figure out why he reacted so well to the serum and everyone else didn't. And so he explains why he fucking hates what that shield represents. He explains his disdain for the United States. And I understand that. When you think about what he's been through, the bullshit and the torturing and the being prosecuted and jailed for basically doing the same thing Steve Rogers did because he's black, that shit is so just sobering.
It was a very powerful conversation.
It's so sobering. And then he says the line that has really just kind of stuck with a lot of people. He said this: they will never allow a black man to be Captain America. And even if they did, no self-respecting black man would want to. And he's saying this to Sam, and you can understand Sam's struggle. Because that's Isaiah's perspective. So I understand it, and it makes sense why he's angry. Mm-hmm. I understand that. But then you have to look at it from Sam's perspective. He's trying, he was friends with Steve Rogers. He knows what Steve Rogers is good, but he also knows how the country views that shield. They know the meaning behind that shield. And he feels like, look.
He knows the man behind it.
He knows the man behind it. And he knows that, he's put in his time. He's saved millions of people as Falcon. And, he's like, look, I belong here. I belong here. This is my country too. And it's not about the color of the person behind the shield. It's the shield that people are looking at, and there's the meaning behind the shield. And, man, it was just an incredible episode because it really gives you a look into the conflict that Sam is dealing with as whether or not he wants to be Captain America, whether or not he wants to don that shield.
It really brings it full circle to where he's at with it.
It was an incredibly powerful scene. And it was some of the best writing we've had that we've seen in the MCU in general. Mm. And there were some people that were critical of this episode because it deviated from the main storyline. And I can't help but wonder if this is something about the whole, we need more action, because they set this up as an action movie, as an action show. And I think it's something, we talked about, and some of those, it is what it is. It's white dudes who are pissed that they're exploring these things. They're exploring these themes because comics are supposed to be their form of escapism.
Right.
And they don't want these politics in their comics. But guess what, you guys? This is what makes these characters so in-depth.
And relatable.
And there's one thing that Tone sent me.
I sent this because of Crash, actually, speaking of which.
This is really good stuff. This is from Stan Lee. This is I don't know where
this
he
is
wrote.
probably, what year? Does it say the year on that?
It does. I can't see the
You know what year
on it.
this came from, Crash, by chance?
Well, Crash is looking that up. Here's a comment that Stanley made.
It was like the 80s at the earliest.
Yeah, it says Stan's Soapbox. From time to time, we receive letters from readers who wonder why there's so much moralizing in our mags. They take great pains to point out that comics are supposed to be escapist reading and nothing more. But somehow I can't see it that way. It seems to me that a story without a message, however subliminal, is like a man without a soul. In fact, even the most escapist literature of all, old-time fairy tales and heroic legends, contained moral and philosophical points of view. At every college campus where I may speak, there is as much discussion of war and peace, civil rights, and the so-called youth rebellion as there is our Marvel mags per se. None of us lives in a vacuum. None of us is untouched by the everyday events about us. Events which shape our stories just as they shape our lives. Sure, our tales can be called escapists, but just because something's for fun doesn't mean we have to blanket our brains while we read it. Excelsior, Stan Lee.
Stan fucking Lee. So, Stan fucking Lee, first of all, that's amazing. Right? And that's it. That's it right there. Yeah, exactly, respect. It's such a shame that we have, and I'm not going to spin too crazy into this, but it's just such a shame that I feel like we can't appreciate good storytelling and being relatable to things that aren't familiar with us. That's where we're at. It's really unfortunate because you got this great storytelling and all we're doing is focusing on the other shit.
And Isaiah's story is heartbreaking. It really is. But you know what? It makes a lot of fucking sense considering how this country has treated black people, black soldiers, everything. I mean, they shit on them.
Yep.
And and to sit there and pretend like none of this stuff exists in the comic world, in the comic universe, would be such a slap in the face. You can't sit there and pretend this shit doesn't fucking exist. In a comic space, you can't do that. And the way that they've done it in this episode specifically, and in this series as a whole, they explore these real social issues that we're dealing with now. It's fucking incredible. It's really good stuff. It gives you great perspective, and it's so well done. The scene with Isaiah and Sam might be, in my opinion, the best scene, the defining scene of this series.
Yep, I absolutely agree. It was very existential. It was like as I was watching it, I kept saying, my God, this is just unreal. Like, holy shit. King, I definitely see what you said. That's actually going to come up in just a moment as well too, because you are absolutely right. That is one of the big pieces we talk about as well too. If you want to read some of the stuff out there that's saying, but King, I'm going to come back to what you, King. I'm going to finish out with that one actually, because that part of it actually continues in some of the best of that series as well for that episode.
I'm going to go with Crash first. The interaction with Isaiah Bradley and Sam was very well done. It was not only tragic, but it was very enlightening as well. I know the no self-respecting black man would want to line and Sam's nephew's mesmerized will stick in Sam. That's one thing that I thought stood out too, is because obviously you have Isaiah's perspective. Mm-hmm. He sees that shield as it's a horrible thing. It's false. It's bullshit. It's weak. But then you look at Sam's nephews. They're mesmerized by it.
They're playing with it.
They're playing with it. They love it. They know what it represents. They know what it represents from a Steve Rogers perspective. They know what good it means. Isaiah understands the evil behind it. So I mean that's where the conflict is for Sam, and I agree with Crash. That is fucking awesome that they have that dynamic to kind of give you both perspectives. Anhouse says this helps Sam make up his mind. No black man would want to be Captain America, but then again, the way Sam is built, he wouldn't want to sit back and let America be America, and will want to try for a change.
Boom.
Boom. That's what makes this show and the writing and the characters so compelling. Yes, there's a lot of shit stuff that's gone on, but Sam understands I have an opportunity here. I have an opportunity here, and I think that's what makes it so fucking good. You mentioned, is this the one from Cuddles here?
I'm gonna hit that on the last piece here shortly.
Let me see what else we got here. Crash says, looking like the version of Stan's soapbox was from Avengers 74 from 1963, sending another good soapbox entry to Tone if interested.
Prime time for LBJ Civil Rights era.
There you go. Yeah, it was just an incredibly powerful episode. It was incredibly powerful. I'll have you come back here to Cuddles. See if I can find it. It moved.
Here. A little farther. Some elevator music. So, Cuddles said, Sam's story is amazing, but you cannot look at Bucky and his struggles with getting away from the Winter Soldier. So, yeah, so that's the other piece of it. So, like, this was the series has always been kind of more of a Falcon focus. Well, I mean, it's pretty even, but like because he gave the shield to Falcon, I just kind of run with Falcon and Sam. However, you're absolutely right on that too, because as we see with John Walker at the beginning, and the issues he's dealing with as well too, as being a vet as well. The stuff with Sebastian Stan, Bucky is very, very pivotal too, because it really, really once again shows his PTSD and the things he's dealt with, because that's what it comes down to.
Right.
His struggle since being the Winter Soldier, transitioning back. It's very shades of real life when a lot of folk come home from active combat or wherever it may be, in his PTSD. And while we talk a lot about that focus on Sam and he had his big moment, there was a really big pivotal moment in this episode. Really started last episode with the repairing of that boat together, which I thought was fantastic because it was very existential too, like them building the boat, rebuilding the friendship.
Right.
And I said this to Dude earlier. I said it reminds me of like, back in like, 20, 30 years ago, even when, you'd be outside, there was no social media, where maybe you weren't playing video games. You were throwing around a baseball or a football with your friends, playing basketball. That's what it felt like. They're literally just sitting there having a very real dive into a conversation, into some reality, while they're tossing instead of a baseball, it's the shield. They're
around,
catching
yeah.
it, because they both can handle that. And, we forget sometimes that Sam's background comes from, dealing with folks with mental issues, PTSD and such like that. And, we see Sebastian Stan, I keep saying that, I'm sorry, Bucky's character grow this episode or this series as well too. And that was really like a big one for him, because they're out there, they're having that, they're hashing it out. And he's telling them, like, you got to stop living in the past, man. Move forward, and that's what's going to help you. And that was huge as well too. Like, yeah, a lot of the focus definitely was on Isaiah, because it's got a lot to do with the mantle that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we're also healing Bucky, and that was, I mean, all around the episode. Again, we've talked about 2 or 3, 4 big points of this entire episode.
Right.
This was literally my favorite episode of the series. It was so huge. And it's very mind-boggling and disappointing to me to see the reactions from some folks on this, but again, they're not going to completely get it. So
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love action. I love it, and the action has been plentiful in this series.
Right.
But man, when you sit here and you take the time to explore the depth of these characters, it complements the action perfectly.
Yep.
And it's definitely necessary, and it goes back to what Stan Lee said. You can't sit there and pretend this shit doesn't exist. You really can't. We got some more good comments here. Let me see if I can find one here.
Thank you, Cuddles. Yes, I totally agree with that, and that was one of my favorite scenes, was them tossing that shield around.
El Blanco said, let's go quick. The fact that that's not the one I want to read from El Blanco. He had another good one. No, it was Panic Games. The touching on Baron Zemo and the Flag Smashers has been interesting. They see themselves as being heroes in their own stories. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Baron Zemo. Now, we talked about this a little bit too.
He's going to the raft.
He's heading back to the raft. And now, hopefully, I'm hoping, dude, because, he walked up, the way they did it, I could understand if we don't see Baron Zemo again through this series, the last episode. But man, I would love to see an end credits scene because we got a mid credits scene in this episode. That's we'll talk about briefly for a moment. But I would love to see an end credits scene of the next episode. Shows him at the raft, and we see our boy
Thunderbolt Ross putting together some of the villains, maybe for a little team that he wants to do on the side. That'd be great.
That
some
could
Thunderbolts
be pretty
action,
dope.
baby.
That could be pretty dope. Ant House said, if villains see themselves as doing the right thing from their perspective, that's why we'll always be
They're the heroes of their own story.
Heroes of their own story. I mean, it's
All that
this
baby.
show has been just so well done. I mean, obviously, and here's the interesting thing. Now. Obviously, people these shows put in Disney Plus puts in Emmy Emmy suggestions for their shows. You know, hey, look, consider Emmy considerations.
Yeah.
The way they classified WandaVision for their Emmy consideration was that it was going to be a one-off show. This is going to be a one-off limited series for WandaVision. When they submitted their stuff for the Emmys for this show, it was for a series in a way that there'll be a second season.
Fuck yeah. Give me more.
The way they submitted it,
WandaVision works as a limited. I get it.
WandaVision worked great as a one-off because you can't really go back to that spot.
Right.
I mean, it is, it's done. Whereas this, the way they submitted it, leaves it open to possibly be multiple seasons, which I fucking hope they do.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I don't care how much Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan asked for; they're worth every penny, and Disney has the deepest of pockets. Make that shit a fucking thing. Season 2 for show.
Yep.
For show. It
I'm
has
ready.
to happen.
I'm ready. I want it.
Has to happen. But was there anything else about the end credit scene?
Let's just like the end credit scenes. Go ahead.
Obviously, John Walker is upset. We go to him in a workshop. He's putting together a shield of his own.
Shades of Iron Man.
Shades of Iron Man in the caves in Iron Man 1. On the shield, he's got his, is it the Purple Heart? Or no, the Congressional Medal of Honors.
Yeah.
He's building a shield with all of his medals on it as a reminder, look, this is who I am. You made me this. That was wild, dude. That was a wild middle end credit scene. I mean, we have no idea. Now, that's the thing. Do they have like a final showdown with John Walker in the final episode, or do you think it's going to be more focused on the Power Broker? Because I feel like Wyatt Russell is the type of dude that you can carry on through the entire MCU for a while.
Right. I don't know if he does the U.S. agent bit, how this is going to work out, but with Contessa involved, a.k.a. Madam Hydra, I think she's recruited him up, and he's going to be
a big part of everything going forward.
Maybe, something. Something's going to... That's the crazy thing about this. Like, we keep talking about, like, this crazy deep dive into all the stories and everything, but it's almost like this episode was so good we forgot about the Power Broker.
I know.
We forgot about what John Walker's going to do. We forgot about the fact that Agent 13 hired Bartok to do shit.
Yep.
Like,
what's Sharon's story? What's Sharon up to?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Agent 13, Sharon,
there's a lot of shit they got to explore in the last episode. So I wouldn't be surprised if that middle
she works for the Power Broker.
That middle credit scene was probably a setup for something else down the line. I don't think we're going to see John Walker come in and fight these guys.
We might not see it all this next episode, but fuck, we could be surprised.
I mean, who knows? I don't know how long the episode's going to be, but this was just this has shaped up to be just Disney knows what the fuck they're doing.
Awesome.
And again, it's a testament to going the route of streaming services and multiple episodes that allows you to flesh stuff out, flesh characters out, and really
Dark
build
Avengers,
up
baby.
stuff. It was a wild episode, man. It was really, really good. Was
Yeah.
there anything else that stood out? I mean, obviously, I think we hit on everything. Baron Zemo, we don't know if we'll see him anymore. John Walker,
We will
don't
see
know.
him eventually
I
down
mean,
the
in
road.
this in this series,
maybe another series, maybe in a movie. Now that now that this is a whole MCU umbrella, these guys can just transition to TV, back to movie. Doesn't matter.
You know what's interesting is that obviously Wyatt Russell, his dad was in Guardians.
Mhm.
Kurt Russell was in Guardians, and earlier this week, they interviewed Wyatt Russell, and they're like, "Hey, look, we know there's word of a Escape from New York reboot, and people were wondering, are you going to take up the mantle of Snake Plissken?" And Wyatt Russell said, "No fucking way. That's career suicide. There's no way I'm doing that."
Right.
Which is good on him. I was really happy when I read that because obviously we've seen Wyatt Russell has range. Wyatt Russell can do a lot of good
Fuck
stuff.
These reboots, man.
Yeah, and I mean, look, man, Escape from New York is one of my all-time favorite Carpenter flicks. It's an amazing movie. Not only does it not need a reboot, it doesn't need fucking Wyatt Russell playing Snake Plissken. That's a Kurt Russell character only. You know, we heard rumors about a Big Trouble in Little China reboot with The Rock, and I love The Rock, but man, we don't fucking need
Nope.
Big Trouble in Little China reboot. A couple more comments here. Why are people confused about the case that the Sam was given? I feel like we all know what's in it. Cuddles says, is Bucky's arm fucked up, and did he use his favor to get Falcon the suit?
I just fucking major yawn. Fuck me and the goat ass. Definitely got to be a whole new set of wings in there, clearly, and hopefully with the red, white, and blue colors.
Ooh, that'd be hot.
Like that.
That'd be hot. But that is going to do it for this week's show.
Yeah.
That
It
is
is.
going to do it for this week's show. First of all, big shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you so much for the people that subscribed. Hopefully, y'all are checking out that swag. If you have any suggestions, the colors of the t-shirts, different options, anything like that, let us know. Obviously, this is just the first run of stuff. We will go in there, we'll tweak them, get whatever you guys need, you want on those t-shirts. You know, I'm always working on different stuff, but we appreciate your support. Seriously, we appreciate your support. Congrats to Jimmy Z. He was the winner. Let me know in a text, Jimmy Z, what you want, whether it's the shirt, the mug. If you want the shirt, let me know the size and the color, and we'll get you hooked up. But you guys, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much for being here every fucking Wednesday and talking pop culture, talking movies, talking games, talking TV
Talking
shows,
shit.
talking shit while we get drunk. We appreciate the hell out of you guys and girls very, very
Absolutely.
much. We appreciate the support. And all we ask of you guys is just share it.
Yeah.
Let your friends and family know. I see we got a couple more reviews on iTunes. Fuck yeah, you guys rock. Thank you so much. Post them on Facebook. Post them on Twitter. Tell your friends and family. Let them know. 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch. We're always live. We just want to talk. We just want to talk and get
drink.
y'all involved. So next week we'll be talking about Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the
Yeah,
finale.
yeah.
We'll talk about Invincible.
We'll preview some Returnal.
We'll preview some Returnal, which drops next Friday on PS5, and then whatever else happens over the weekend. If there's a movie you guys and girls have been watching that you think is really good that we should check out, let us know. We have plenty of time. We can watch something else. But that's going to do it for tonight, y'all. Fanboytone,
Okay.
I'm the Dude79. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Wednesday, 9 p.m., right here, Banter Babble. Good night, everybody.